Hello and welcome to I Want to Grow. And I Want to Grow, I say it every week, is all about just that. Everybody wants to grow. You want to grow, I want to grow. With our guests, it's a little different. They're all about helping others grow. And with our guest today, he's one of my inspirations because of what he's doing on multiple levels. Amr, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Steve. It's a pleasure to be here.
We were so lucky one day when I was doing a moderating panel and you just so happened to be on that panel.
True, and we have amazing discussion before even the panel.
Even the panel. And now all of a sudden our worlds are on it's turned on its head with what we're doing together, right? Just from that one chance meeting
Yes.
to where we stand today, where we're probably looking at several different ways to kind of... Now, I should be doing another intro right now for In the Game, Qatar's first sports podcast, because you could go on that one too, right?
Yes, I had a good previous experience with sport, particularly football.
Oh, and everybody's looking at it and saying, where's this all going? Okay, let's start from the beginning. Let's start from that football perspective. Where did your journey start and how did it all start to develop?
I can't start that journey. My journey starts from football because my whole journey in my mind, when I was a kid, when I started that is become around football. I didn't realize myself, I didn't dream to do anything else other than football. My mindset was really planned to be a football player, a pro football player, and life events just come after that and change pathway as we go. But I never expect myself in being in different places. I never expect myself to become an architect. I never expect myself to become an healthcare innovation.
What started that journey? Why didn't the football go?
So initially, back then, of course, when I started this, I started as a pro football player, and I continue working until an age of 17, 18 years old. Back then, I was able to secure the first contract with one of the biggest club back in Egypt. And this is where I make an agreement with my parents that I need to go to the college because I was initially refusing to go to the college. And they said, okay, if you want to continue in football as a career, you need to secure something else in addition. So we agreed I will go to the college. I went to different universities, finding the best match to my schedule as a trainer, because I've been trained 4 days a week, 4 to 6 hours. So there's no much really window for other studying. However, I had to go with this, and I joined at the end university for architecture school because I was at the same time a good painter. So I did a lot of galleries. I used to paint very well. I sold many paints. So basically, I have been in a position to say, okay, people advise me, architecture should be a piece of cake for you. And I said, okay, whatever, it is what it is, as long as I can practice for football. And later I got a major injury, and I had to stop playing football for almost a year because back then it wasn't like right now, the technology, the medical technology for sport injuries wasn't really the same like right now. And during this, I just get familiar to be an architect, and basically this is where I start my first shift in my career, from a football player who dreamed to be a football player forever to suddenly an architect that...
How did you manage that process? Because that must have been tough.
It was tough. And it wasn't easy. Switch your dream from one area you've been dreaming all of your number of years to suddenly become an architect, which is a decent job. I'm not saying it's a bad job, but this is not what you have been dreamed with. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't tough. And I think this challenge is basically articulate one of my beliefs that I know from the beginning that I will be able to do very well in everything I will be taking. And passion will come with time. So I force myself to get architecture on the beginning, and later I start to love it, and I then started to practice it, and then I started to be adopted with it until I make another switch later, which we will talk about it after that. But meanwhile, I knew that I can do it. Regardless, I love it, I don't love it, passion will come with time. And this is one of the lessons that I force myself to teach myself and learn it. I know passion is good. That's the best, of course, advice always. Do what you like. Do what you find your passion in. But for me, things was different a little bit. Go search your passion, like you're searching for your talent, like you're searching for how you do well in this. Because at the end of the day, I forced, and my life is a sequence of a major change, major diversion. And I force myself all the time to look for the passion. And I think my main passion that I can be good. If I will be play football, I will be the best football player. I wasn't the fastest, by the way, but I was work as a midfielder in the defense side. So I learned from the beginning that I'm the one at the end that he's seeing all players in front. I can see weakness of the other team. I can see the strength of my other team, my team members. I know where, I start to predict where they go. I start to communicate very well. And these skills, I think God puts me in a football for a reason, to learn these skills. And until now, I think my biggest skill basically that I can see the weakness. I can see the potential. I wasn't the fastest, as I said, as a football player, but I was at the end when I used to make a gesture with my neck, like raising my neck like this, look for everyone. And my team, they know when I do this, they have to be ready. I know where they will be, and my pass will be go accurately for them at the right time, at the right place. And I never claimed that I was the fastest footballer. My coach is always telling me that you're lazy in training, you are not doing well from a bodybuilding perspective, you're not the strongest in the team, you're not the most skillful even of the team, but your view and your accurate pass was a legendary. And I think this is what I was famous for. And I took these skills for every industry I did work after that. I've been able to see where we are going. I'm able to guide and help people how to go there. And I know where is weaknesses.
Isn't it? We talk about, and we are going to talk about God quite a few times in our conversation today.
Yeah.
But isn't it great how we don't know the purpose sometimes of the lessons that we're learning?
Yeah.
But as we go through life, it then becomes apparent.
Yes. You cannot escape from your destiny. I did escape from medical school once. I did escape from being a healthcare architect once. I did escape from operational hospital once. And then I stopped escaping because I knew this is my destiny.
But with you,
this is the purpose.
You, whatever seems you put your hand to, it seems to be the top. You reach the heights of so high. And it's all because of the things that you must have learned as you went along.
I think so. Like I said, playing in football, it teach me a lot of lessons. I used it in my work as an architect. I used it as I'm working on healthcare architects. I used it when I start operation and strategy for healthcare. I used it when I start even my first startup on the age of 25. I learn it every day. I remind myself every day, I'm here for a purpose, and only God knows what is my purpose.
And it's so apparent because I've got this screen behind you, and it's all kind of all the kaleidoscope of colors. I've got to see some of your paintings.
Yes.
Oh wow! I didn't realize that you did. I
did. There is a few royal family houses in UAE that they have my paints.
No way. Oh wow! So you've. When does your journey then start within the health industry?
So I was an architect, as I said, and then I traveled, work in Dubai. I have very successful career in Dubai. And as age 26, 27, I was working on one of the best American practice for healthcare. However, I was working more in the commercial because any architect, he liked to work in a skyscraper. If you work in Dubai, then you are working on a skyscraper, you work on a luxurious hotel, luxurious resorts. And of course, I was enjoying this life so far until 2009 when the recession happened in Dubai. And I was promoted to be associate partner in this practice. They had over 227 branches over the world. So imagine at the age of 26.
26?
Yes, becoming an associate partner in this practice. It was something good. My name was voted like one of the best 50 architects who reshaped the Middle East industry design. So I was enjoying it, right? 2009, God has different view. All the luxurious project, all the skyscraper projects stopped. Hundreds of people laid off was started in Dubai, like viral. And we used to see luxurious cars in the street of Dubai with the key inside, because apparently you just left the country, you don't have money to pay back for this. And I was making a choice. Either I was expecting my layoff like the other hundreds of the practice I was. We were around 1,300 in the office, or this branch in Dubai, suddenly become 200. So imagine the number that has been laid off across the few months. Big recession hits the world, of course. Wasn't easy, of course, in Dubai, where real estate be considered probably one of the most strongest industry there. And I have been given the choice, being laid off, or we want to keep you in a safe project that is still running. It's an hospital. And of course, imagine working in a luxurious projects, skyscrapers, doing very well, speaking in many conferences. I have been asked to leave all of this and start something that I don't understand much on that. And I said, okay, it is what it is. It seemed like this is a safe place. Let's do it for a year or two until situation come back again. And then I back again to the practice. And this is where I started in a project as a healthcare planner. And I start to go ahead and ahead and ahead. And at some point, you switch from this to more of the hospital operation and strategy. And then later, when I come to Qatar, I came in a capacity of a program manager, strategy manager, and then I end up now on healthcare innovation and simulation. So it's a long journey, more than probably close to 14, 15 years in healthcare. And now I can tell you that probably I'm very close to find my purpose.
I think so too. I really do, because I see you seem really happy and content, and you really have got something powerful in your hands right now. Something very powerful that I can see that the differences that you're going to make with what you've done. But it was easy, right? Everybody handed this to you on a plate.
No, it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. It was always difficult.
Your journey's been fantastic.
And if you give my life a title, I was delivering an inspiration speech in a graduation ceremony a few days back, and when the moment when they are telling you information about your bio initially, when they introduce you, how great you are, and the moment I come to the stage and I told them, yes, this is not lie, this is true. However, it wasn't easy, and I didn't choose any of this. So, and if you give a title for my journey, it will be what the heck. It was extremely difficult. I've been many times in a what the heck points where you go amazed and then you start to mitigate. Then another what the heck, and then you start to mitigate. And it's another what the heck, and then you start to mitigate. And it's a continuation of this. I learned you have to be tough, I learned that you have to do what you have to do. Passion will not stop me. Love of my doing, it will not stop me. I know that I can do it, and I know that God make this for a reason. As I said, I'm in the middle, and still in my middle of the journey. I can sense what is my purpose. It may change again, I don't know, but at the moment, God always in my mind. He will guide me.
He's definitely giving you a lot of hours, that's for sure. You are working non-stop. You're working at different types of events as mentor, as different events for, as you said, presentations, as ITQAN. It's non-stop for you.
Yes.
Non-stop. How do you keep up?
It's in my view, it is not that much really. I'm doing what I should do. I do what I feel I'm happy to doing it. Everyone very close to me, he know very, very strong facts. Close, like he knows what I'm doing. He knows that I'm extremely a lazy person. And I think my continuous movement is a mitigation for this, you know?
I don't know. I feel I always want to find the easiest way of doing things.
This is good about the one professor. He told me before that, you know, that the most smartest people on earth, they are the lazy people, because they are always looking for a very smart way to do things, so they are not spending a lot of efforts.
Yeah, but you're kind of, if there's one person I've ever met, I don't think, and we've only just met, I would say, in the last year, and ever since the first time I met you, and we had a conversation and we were talking about different subjects, I knew that I was going to spend the rest of my life working with you.
And same me. I sense your passion, and you are the kind of a people that I wish to always stay with, because you inspired me and you motivate me to do the best. And this is a good thing I need.
So we're coming now to, because it's my passion, without a shadow of doubt, with what you're doing now.
Yes.
Oh my God, we were talking just before, and we said
Yes.
it's probably Qatar's biggest kept secret.
It is the Qatar biggest secret, really. ITQAN Clinical Simulation and Innovation Center. I think we definitely not doing the best in the marketing as we do. I am on the executive management for ITQAN, one of the biggest clinical simulation and innovation center in the world. We just received the full accreditation, so we are become one of 3 or 4 simulation center in the region, 3 continents at least, who received this full accreditation.
That's a huge step. I know we've been speaking about this for quite some time. Yeah.
Yes, we authored thousands of papers for application for the accreditation. So receiving such an elite in accreditation, it is amazing and important milestone for us.
And I know that you've got a magnificent team, and you have got from the receptionists, they're just something special.
Yes.
From everybody that's there, you're teaching people to be at the top of their game, both for loving what they do and for the job and role they play, which is paramount. It's like, and I know that it's a big team, but you've had some pretty big weights on your shoulders, right?
We prefer calling it a family. So we have a big family in ITQAN, and everyone knows what we want to do. Everyone knows the jewel that we have, and everyone wants to expose this to the rest and help people doing what they do. We are known for it in ITQAN and at Hamad Medical Corporation and most of the healthcare community in Qatar. We are probably the only facility in Qatar that we don't say no. We always say yes, how we can help you. And I think this is the message that we build the culture of our family in ITQAN, our team in ITQAN. We are here to help people. We are not here to receive credits. We are not here to receive personal glory. We are not here to receive credits for anything. We are basically here to help other teams, other entity, other professionals to do what they need to do, to be better in their job. And I think this is something we managed to build this culture. Once this culture in your team, you become a family. and then later you discover that you can do anything. You can do everything, right?
Yeah.
Because what you can do, what I can do for my family, I can do everything. What you will do in your family, you will do everything.
Yeah.
And this is basically what we do in ITQAN. And that's why when we do things, we do it differently. Because when I did play football and when I become an architect and then later as in healthcare, I always thought differently. I always take this industry from a human perspective. So when I design architects, I remember very well in the university, I used to get a great debates with professors. When I design a building, I wasn't care what is the building looks like. This is not the key. And I always, when they evaluate a project for you in the architecture school, some of the marks goes to the how the designers look like, what is the masses interaction. And for me, I didn't care, because my care always is what is the human journey in the building. How does the building look like when they come from streets? What is look like when they come inside the reception? What if they want to make a toilet? Do I have to go and ask someone what exactly I can spend here? And this is actually what I'm preparing something very good at the moment, is a community or consortium between international practices is to design the urban planning in Middle East, design for all. Is yes, it can be, you can make a cosmopolitan city like in Dubai, like modern Doha, like in what we see in Riyadh at the moment. However, the question is not a bunch of skyscrapers. It's not a bunch of very crazy looking building. It doesn't, this is not the way that I'm actually adopting as a design theory. Is the fact is, imagine that you are an elderly or an old age and you want to go to the supermarket to buy your goods. You go down, and when you buy your supermarket, you meet someone and you speak with this someone. By the way, I'm doing a birthday for my grandson. He's an amazing boy and I want to do that, but the problem, I cannot move much and I need help. So what about making like a small multi-hall in his building that he can actually celebrate? What if when he going back there is a community of communication between multi-generational members? They can come help him with birthday. This is what the design I'm looking for. And I had a lot of personal stories I can share, that this is the essence of the building, how I can help you to be happy, how I can help people to communicate in a good way. And this is for me the essence of the urban planning, and this is the essence of my new startups coming, how we can help big development at the moment, big master plans in Saudi Arabia, in Qatar, in Dubai, in making this community is designed for all, multi-generational design. Everyone in this community, he feel its importance, he feel happy, he can freely communicate in a safe environment, and he can receive the help. All of this is around a very nice design that he move freely without implication. There is no hurdles. Everything is design based, evidence-based design, that I can walk from my home, going to the supermarket, coming back. I can do it without help, regardless of my age, regardless of my gender, regardless of my ethnicity. We are all equal. And I think this is what we are calling for the new design, that it will hopefully make a very good revolution in the Middle East, inshallah.
But the difference is, and that's where I feel this every time I walk in there, and I love walking into ITQAN, because the energy that you get and you see the differences that you're going to make to so many. Everybody's a winner. Everybody, whether you're the potential, everybody's a winner.
That's the key.
Right? Everybody's a winner. And I know that this story is about your story, but I think it's okay to talk about ITQAN, because this has been part of your story for quite a few years now.
Yes, 4 years.
4 years. So tell us, because I remember going there and I just couldn't stop. My mouth, my jaw was dropped, because I just kept on looking around with astonishment. Tell us a little bit more tell us what you have there on those 4 floors, 15,000 square meters.
15,000 square meters full of mannequins, look like a hospital.
The mannequins, there's one with the labor mannequin.
Yes. yes, yes.
3.5 million.
Yes. ITQAN is a platform, and I've been always looking for a word. What is the best describe ITQAN? And for me, we are a platform where you can come, receive a safe learning in a safe environment. You don't scare from failing. You don't scare how much killing you did for your patient, because they are all dummies. They are all designed to suit your training. And at the same time, and more importantly, in my opinion, that it's a place when you can start ideation stage for an idea. How I can change healthcare practice. And I'm telling you one thing, and might be very shocking. For me, healthcare, after 16 years in healthcare is not complicated as people they're trying to explain. In fact, it's quite simple. And it's a lot of stakeholder involved, and this is probably from where the complexity starts. But at the end of the day, when you look for a problem in healthcare and you go deep dive in this, you will probably find a solution. And the problem is that the ecosystem of healthcare, and not only in Qatar, this is everywhere, is designed in a channel and in layer that with time, when you push a new ideas from the top, from down to top, it's quite difficult to reach there. There is no a clear communication platforms, because every layer you will meet, you will hit standards, you will hit protocols, you will hit regulation. And this is what we're trying to overcome in ITQAN. Imagine in a place, an hospital with no hygiene perspective. Imagine an hospital where you can kill the patient every day. You have 950 mannequins. You are welcome to come and kill them every day if you wish. Imagine in a place that you can practice your own surgery, virtual reality, using one of the virtual reality machines, and you are just on the age of 10 years old. And we can sit with you telling you how you can make hernia from zero till you close the jury. So imagine a hospital without the hospital complication.
On
How
that,
this will be look like, you think?
I find it fascinating. But you brought up the subject about the young, the 10-year-old. That must have a major factor of bringing new doctors and nurses into this world, right?
Yes, I can tell you 2.5 years when we started to make a tailored customized program for high school students, we started very purely by coincidence. And back then it was a colleague. And 3 years ago, when you make a delivery, you will not be able to be with your wife in the OR. And this is, for me, it's not a good thing. Because especially for the first mom, you can always see how intimidated they are, how scared. They don't know what they are expecting. So one colleague, she was always coming as an educator in ITQAN, and then she come to us, and she was just casually talking. She is about to deliver, and suddenly she knew that her husband, he cannot be with her in the OR, and she is like, this is the big thing. I cannot do that. This is like a scary. And I told her, you know what? I will make a delivery for you, a simulation delivery, and you can actually act like a midwifery. You can make it like a role for delivery. Your husband can be the doctors, and we will guide you. What do you think? And she said, can you do that? I said, yes. We have mannequins that can do 100% natural, cesarean, with blood, fluid, with AI conversation. We have the best mannequin in the world, and definitely I can do this for you. So she come, and we started the scenario, and we started by making a complication even. What happened if this complication? What happened that if we needed to go with natural, but suddenly you need to be a C-section? What exactly the process? And they started to work with us. Her husband as a doctor, and she is as a nurse, and they started to work together to make the mannequins deliver. And I can tell you, this moment when the baby come out with blood and fluid, and you started to see the tears in the eyes of the mother and the father, this is when you can start to think, my simulation center can have a very different function. We can bring humans and we teach them and we show them what we are doing, not only the clinical community, but also as a normal people. And comes directly after that. We received an invitation from a doctor that he wants to bring his high school students. He wants to go to the medical, but he wasn't sure, is this the right direction for him or no? So he said, can he come and you just take him on a tour, explain for him what you are doing, and maybe this will affect him. And when we bring the kid here, we take him around, we show him what we do in a hospital. He played with the mannequins. We killed the mannequins and we ask him do a CPR for the mannequins and make marks, and we'll tell you what is your rank among the world. Are you a good resuscitation officer or not?
Wow.
He started working with a robotic surgery. Imagine we have a didnt robotic surgery.
Yeah.
Imagine a kid with 15 years old. He is sitting for first time in his life on a mannequin, on didnt robotic surgery, performing some very basic operation that I can tell you, millions of surgeons, they don't have access to such technology. And when he started working, and the kid, he told me a word I will never forget. He said, this is the center of possibilities. And actually, he's in medical school right now, very close to fourth year. And every time I see him, and I say, okay, this is something good. You started that. After that, we started to host schools in ITQAN. We started to make customized program for them. And actually, now we hosted more than 3,000 students. 3,000 students in 2.5 years. They come to ITQAN, they practice medicine. We have been guided, and for me, this is the better than bring the kids Generation Z, and you know what is Generation Z, put them in a lecture hall and speak with them how medical is awesome.
But even if there's a small conversion rate, that's a massive addition to the health sector here.
Yes.
With doctors, nurses.
We don't have an accurate statistics, but before we started this, the number of cohort in the medical school was definitely between 40 to 50. 70% was expats. Today we are talking about 100 at least, and 80% of this Qataris. I do want to believe that we did a change. I don't have accurate statistics yet. We are doing a kind of research right now with few university, academia, professors. We will reach 3,000 students and we will ask them, have you eventually end up with a medical school? Was your decision actually done influenced by ITQAN? And then we will be able to have a very accurate statistics. But I wish to think that we did a change in that. And this is what we are looking for in ITQAN, making a change.
You're talking about making a change.
Yes.
Tell me about the students that you brought, or doctors that you brought from Afghanistan.
Yeah. So we were with, apart from an initiative for very, very special projects, it's called Orbis. And Orbis is, when you think about that, is basically like a simulation center like ITQAN, but inside an airplane. And imagine they are flying from a country to a country, teaching eye surgeon, specifically a female, in the countries that it's actually facing a conflict. And basically imagine if you have a surgeon from Yemen, from Afghanistan, in such a very difficult condition, they received their training because it was the first time they come in Qatar, and they embarked in the old airport, and they started to make a training for a surgeon, number of surgeon, female surgeon from Yemen, from Afghanistan, and amazing statistics show when those surgeons, of course, they don't have access to this kind of training at all in their countries. They went back and they treat hundreds number of cases. And for me, this is a value that you bring here, right? Because you teach, you provide a very top niche technology for a number of surgeons that they will never face this. They will never be able to come to any place doing this the same. And they back to their countries. They help their community with very successful cases, hundreds of cases. They probably come back and start to see again because you did something like that. You don't realize the value you are bring until you hear this story from the other end. And now they sign a 3 years contract with Qatar, and inshallah we will be able to duplicate this value. So rather than because at the end of the day the airplane is very limited in the area, now we can triple the number of the surgeon that they can get from these countries, and imagine that you maximize the number of patients that they will be getting effect by that. It is amazing feeling. It's amazing feeling, and when you hear it, when you visited them, when you hear the story, it is very nice story. And I'm always following them. We're always communicating with them, with Qatar Airways, and I think prepare yourself for a big value that will be brought to this country. It's amazing feeling.
It's and what Qatar is doing. A lot of people underestimate it. They just don't know what's going on below the surface, right? But the work that people like yourself in Qatar are doing is just phenomenal. Phenomenal. I know that we can sometimes reflect on the stuff that isn't going very great, but I think, and this is what I love about the podcast, is to celebrate people like you and celebrate places like Qatar and the effect they're having on people's lives. With you, what's the next steps for you then? So what's happening with you? What's happening with ITQAN? What's your kind of next year, would you say?
It's not the next year. We are starting now and immediately speaking with many entities. I think the normal step for ITQAN right now to become the national healthcare innovation hub in Qatar, and later to expand for the whole region. We are very good on this. We have a very good experience in-house. We have a very good strategy and vision. We have a very good support from the ministry, from Hamad Corporate, from many entities like QRDI, Ministry of Communication, many entities. I think they are supporting, and they see us that this is our natural step. They're helping us to take this step forward. So I think this is our next step. We have a great plans, we have a great strategy, and hopefully, inshallah, will become true very soon.
It's phenomenal, and I can't wait to get more involved.
Yes.
Because I can't wait to do what I do best, and that's tell people what you're doing.
Yes.
And that's where I think, and I can't wait to go around to the ministries. I can't wait to go to different countries when I'm there, like I was in Armenia. I never stopped talking about ITQAN because I just love the place, and the differences that you're going to make for these places around the world is incredible.
We become like a tourist destination now. So basically every ambassadors, every presidents have come to Qatar, every diplomat, every VIP visitor, he must come and make a stop at ITQAN. And I can tell you something, they are always text me on WhatsApp. Because they get fascinated by our story. They get fascinated when they make a tour in the building. They see what we are doing, how we can help. And we do this without glorifying ourselves. We just do it because we think we can bring this value. Healthcare unfortunately is a very stagnant industry. There's not much movement. If you go right now and see how people practice, most likely many of the surgeons, they practice the same way they have been taught in the schools. We want to change this. We want to open innovation. We want to bring a message for the healthcare community that this is a very much solidly regulated industry, but we can help to change this. There is a big area for change. Change is the word that we think it's a holy word for us in ITQAN. Change. We have to all change. We have to go and look for more innovation mission, because I think our mission in ITQAN is to bring innovation to the healthcare industry, which will return by default to the patient safety.
But you're running this wonderful operation, and that takes some doing. but you are on fire when it comes to helping people within the medical industry and the different innovative ideas, and you'll sit with everybody to go through and to give them some idea of where they're going right and where they're going wrong.
Yes. We know the market. We know what is Qatar unique market is. Qatar market is extremely unique. You can succeed, but not easy. And you easily can be failed if you don't understand the characteristic of this. Healthcare is not different. I'm myself involved with many entrepreneurs. I'm myself entrepreneurs. I have a few startups at the moment I am investing in. A new one is coming, and this is, I think, my purpose of my life, away from everything I'm doing at the moment. And I know this is where I will be dedicating myself very soon, full 100% time there. But what you can look, and when you can speak with entrepreneurs in the healthcare, you can see that they are not in the right direction. I'm seeing almost 10 startups every month, and I speak with them and I advise them, we need to do this. And unfortunately, you know yourself, if we have 100 startups, only 3 will be successful. And these 3, 100%, none of them will be a unicorn. Because one unicorn probably is every 10,000, 100,000 startups, and you know that, successful startup. So pursuing being a unicorn, pursuing a successful startup in a normal traditional industry is difficult. Imagine when it's come to a healthcare, especially with AI integration, that it's become like a Gucci and Chanel for startups. It was more like a branding right now. It's very hardly that you see a startups in healthcare coming without telling you, I have AI integration, by the way.
Yeah.
And when you go and pursue, okay, what kind of AI integration, and you can see that API integration or chatbot or whatever, and this is definitely valuable and worthy, but it's not helpful.
I know what I do with you now.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to give your number to somebody that I think could have a good idea, I say to them, listen, I'm going to give you this person's number, but there's going to be to tell you exactly how it is. Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Be prepared. And always I'm advising them, what do you want to do from your startups? What you are pursuing? Are you pursuing a personal brand? Are you pursuing a money? Are you pursuing a corporate brand? Are you pursuing a successful exit, short cycle investment? What exactly you're looking for your startup? Because this is affect your plan. This is affect actually the type of your startups. So I saw many startups, they're coming in a very niche market in healthcare or outside the healthcare, and they are telling you that I'm looking to hit the economy of the scale. And then I look for them and I say, excuse me, but this is not going to happen. The healthcare entrepreneur market at the moment is a crowd, and we have tens of startups everywhere. And the problem, all of them, they are fighting on 1 or 2 models. AI integration with the radiology to read it, EMR, healthcare concierge. It's typically, I was evaluating a healthcare startup recently for Tasmo Accelerator, and you would be surprised to see like 90% of the startups, they are doing the same thing. And this is a bit strange for me, because let me give you something I learned myself. The money, the success, it will not be happening from a direct relationship. It's not a direct service, but it's happening from the service itself, from infrastructure, from a third-party middleman. All of this is a very successful model. People are jumping to make a niche market, a niche restaurant. And I'm telling you, the high overhead price, high everything, a big risk of losing money, a big burning cash flow. But guess what? Who is the most successful person in this niche market for the luxurious restaurant? He's actually the guy that he creating the plates. Because this guy, he hits the economy of the scale. He gave the plates for you and for third restaurant and fourth restaurant, fifth restaurant. And why all of you competing on a caviar steak with some jumbo shrimp? he is enjoying his very low overhead, selling you a plate for probably 1,000 because you will sell it for that. And this is, I think, what the missing. People are fighting for main services in healthcare. But I can tell you, a huge healthcare, it's a lot of challenges. People are fighting for the EMR. Hundreds of people, they are producing EMR. And the question you have to ask, what kind of community will handle all of this number of EMR? In fact, you guys are trying to digitalize the service. It's blowing my mind all the time when I'm looking for Qatar demographic. I'm planning for presentation for TASMO in few days. And then I review the statistics of demographic in Qatar. We are 3 million. More than 1.2 a blue collar. So imagine that. I am an healthcare entrepreneur. I'm coming with a niche market, digitalize the healthcare service that we have 450,000 Qataris. 52 of these are high school graduates. 48% they are below high school. 1.2 million laborers, they have a below high school grade. And I'm discussing those, and expats, more than 60% they are high school less. And I'm discussing we are talking about the 2 million here, that they are not totally in the digitalized service. And I'm trying to digitalize the most essential service in their life as in healthcare. And I'm trying to make a very sophisticated product and giving them to these 2 million. Isn't that crazy? And then you are expecting and saying, I'm complaining all the time. Why I'm not successful? I'm not able to secure. Government is dominating the services, dominating the sector. It's not mistakes, my friend. It is your mistake. You created a niche service, building a niche startups with a niche product for a segment. They are just looking for a physical interaction, go back and forth, go to the hospital, back in the hospital. It reminds me with a story. I was making an interview in one hospital model in US, in Brooklyn. It's an hospital basically created for the hotel workers. So imagine this. You have an hospital for hotel workers, union. They come, they go, receive their treatment in the hospital. When I went to the hospital, it's one of the best luxurious hospitals in the world. It's for hotel workers, right? So they deserve that when they come to the hospital, it's become like amazing, like a hotel.
To get back to work.
Yes, I need to get back to work. I'm going to hospital like hotel.
Yeah.
So imagine that. They received a big protesting, big refusal by the hotel community. And this is where they start to think, what is the problem? Why you don't like it? And when they start to speak with people, the hotel workers, they told them, it's a luxurious. I need time to go and find my clinics. I need to go speak with the reception. Reception gave me a welcome drink, and the welcome drink sit me in the lounge. And then from the lounge, I waited 30 minutes to go to the clinic. And then from the clinic, they are making a patient-centric around me. I have to go later, another welcome drink waiting for my medication. Meanwhile, I'm losing the payment for 1 day that I just left the hotel. And this is where they start changing their mind. And they appointed a new CEO, and I sat with this guy. And he make a great success in the Brooklyn. I sat with the guy. I said, tell me your secret. And I wish I had a podcast back then. I will do a podcast with him. He said, Amr, it's about standardization. It's going back to basics. I removed all the lounges, and I created like examination rooms. I created all the plans as the same. You come from every floor, you know where is the clinic. No reception. You come and receive. You come and leave in 30 minutes. And this is the essence of healthcare, I can see it. We spend thousands and millions and trillions in creating a hospital-like hotel. However, you know what is the message? You know, first lesson I learned when I come to this industry? The function of the hospital is to keep people away from the hospital. We are attracting people. We are spending. So you are speaking with the segments that they don't care about luxury. They care. They come in and out in a 30 minutes hour maximum. Yeah. I save my payment. I save my payroll. I go back to my work again. I don't lose much, and I receive my training. And this is what I think the ecosystem for entrepreneurship in Qatar and in GCC in general they misguiding the right model for the right industry. Is I'm making a complex, I'm making a product, I'm making a niche market that actually is not solving the healthcare. When you're talking, I'm always amazing, I'm always angry why there is no enough entrepreneurs. They are making a startup and product for the laborers in the industrial area. For me, the most successful business in Qatar is the tea time. This is amazing. The guy, he didn't go in the hassle of making a niche market and a niche product, a niche food. It's a very good, very simple model, very variety. For me, every time I'm going to the tea time, I look, this guy is a brilliant. He's brilliant. He is amazing. And this is from many years. When I come to Qatar, it takes my eyes. This is the most successful business in Qatar.
Yeah.
Tea time.
Yeah.
Now they know that they are signing a big contract right now to be international market with many branches.
Yeah, one in the UK now, right?
Simple model.
Yeah.
Simple is the essence of the entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Because for me, and especially in healthcare, we have a lot of troubles. Go solve it. Don't bring me a niche service that I don't need it at the moment.
Yeah.
I have troubles to solve.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you're kind of you're really good at, and I've seen you in action with some of these startups, and you give them real good. You're not so direct, but you put it across to them to look up and say, you're missing the point. Come on.
I'm an entrepreneur myself. I did a lot of mistakes. I can tell you, I failed a lot. I made the startups that I failed. I made a startup that I get successful. I made a startup that I kicked from the board of directors. I made a startup that introduced a new product in the market. I did a startup that I am copying from the rest. And I can tell you my conclusion of experience of this, just hit it direct. Simple product. This is the viral. If you want to go for money, you want to go for niche market, it has its own rules. You need to understand psychology of the humans. Human is the key. Understanding human is always the key for me.
Okay. I'm going to get on to a softer note now.
Yes.
If there was a bit of advice, and I say this to every guest, if there was a bit of advice that you can give your 15-year-old self, what would it be?
Nice question. It might be shocking, but comfort zone. And probably you will wait for me, expect me to tell you that don't change, don't rely on your comfort zone. And actually, I will be advising the opposite. And comfort zone is an amazing place. I have enjoyed every time in my sofa doing nothing. I wish I'm rich enough that I have to live always like that, doing nothing. Comfort zone is amazing. And if you afford the risk that things change and you're still doing very well, my advice to you actually is enjoy your comfort zone. It's an amazing place to be, in fact. Don't change it. Changing comfort zone is not for everyone. And imagine if we ask everyone to change his comfort zone, the comfort zone, including the guy that he is taking your garbage from your home, is including the person sitting in a ministry window finishing your administration papers, is including the driver that he is coming every day in there. So I wouldn't advise any of these that get out of your comfort zone. No. Actually, if you are happy, if you are satisfied with what you do, if you afford the risk that things can be going bad, but you're still satisfied with whatever, if you trust God, then enjoy it. However, what I'm advising actually is always push your limit. Push, because this is the only way. At the end of the day, you can be staying in your comfort zone and push your limit. And this is what I'm asking you to do. And this is what I'm always asking my kids. You are happy with the comfort zone? Enjoy it. There is 1 trillion of people that they are enjoying the comfort zone and they are still doing very well. There is a few people that they don't feel satisfied with their life and they don't think this is the place they should be. And for them, I advise, go ahead and push your comfort zone because you are not happy, you are not satisfied. But let's say that the person sitting in a government somewhere. He is seeing 100, 200 customer every day, helping their labor, spend 6 hours in the work, go spend 2 hours with his family, go watch a movie, watch a game, enjoying the life, go play golf, and he is happy with it life. It will be a completely misleading and advice to tell this guy, go and push your comfort zone and go make a startup somewhere, because
enjoy.
it is crazy and it's a detrimental advice. But rather, I will say, within the 6 hours you are in the government or in your ministry or in your work, push your limits to do the best. You have to do the best. So if you are the driver, I will be the best driver. If you are the cooker or a chef, I will make the best cake ever. It is actually what I learned. When I play football, I will be the best footballer. When I'm an architect, I will be the best architect. When I'm healthcare innovation specialist, I will be the best one in the world. When I speak, I will be the best speaker ever. You will see. I will be always the best. And I will always, as long as this is make me satisfied.
In all of your time, and you've just accomplished so much, who was that inspiration that kind of drove you?
Nice question. My inspiration always is my family, and not necessarily directly inspire me, but every morning, and people might be surprised of that. I'm 42 right now. In the 42 years that I live on this planet, I struggle every morning I wake up from my bed. And I did send posts before about that on LinkedIn, and I received hundreds of messages, people thinking that, and I was saying in the post that I'm always facing you always face bad days, but you know what? The decision you make in these bad days, it will be the most success in your life will be created a result of these bad days, not the good days. And I can't tell you how many days I've really struggled to come even out of the bed. And what has always inspired me is my family. I remember that I'm here to make them a very good life. Every time I look for in the eye of my kids, in the eye of my parents, and I can see them that they tell me, we need you to do this. We need you to be the strongest. We need you. We cannot do it without you. And for me, this is the most, I would say, inspirational. I'm a very simple person, and I'm not shy to say that this motivational moments, motivational speech, it didn't work for me, honestly, and I don't know why. It's like, I don't know, I'm too lazy, I'm very difficult to change, I don't know. I'm always listening to this motivational speech. I'm inspired for just 4.5 minutes. And after that, I've been back to the normal. But family inspiration is the one pushed me for this 42 years to be the best.
And that is why you've been on the show today.
Thank you.
You so much indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a great.
I gotta say that it's one of the one. I can't say that the best one. It's one of the best ones. I've loved every second. I hope you've loved every second, because I thought that was incredible, and to be quite honest with you, that's why he's one of my inspirations, and I really mean that, because you've got the possibility of being an Amr yourself. All you've got to do is you've got to keep on making those differences, and it doesn't matter what size differences that you make. You've just got to keep on making them, and you never know where those differences take you. But believe me, with my age, they do take you somewhere. And you do begin to love that journey, that process that you're going through. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Steve. It's great.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
And thank you, Workington, because without you and without the support and the support we have behind the cameras and the support we have here, I couldn't do this without you. Thank you so much indeed, Workington. Thank you for listening once more. See you until next week. Bye for now.